All right, so this is our picture. It's a picture of a river up in Alaska that I spend my time on in the summer, and it's a glacial river, as you can see. That's what makes it blue. And up here is a huge slope that's about 1,000 feet, and there's a landslide there that happened, and it blocked off the river for like 3 hours, and then it broke loose and almost flooded like a few villages downstream. And it's in the Copper River Valley. So related to science, you can talk about geomorphology and how the river actually is what caused the landslide, that and permafrost up above. And you can also talk about hydrology, which is what's going on in the river, and erosion as far as a geology process, and then also just overall just a natural disaster.
So when Dusty brought in this picture, we liked it because of the colors, and also when everybody else's hoops got chosen for the silk screens, this composition worked a lot better for our picture anyway, because it is a lot wider for our landscape. Through the art side, we worked a lot with like mixing colors with only using the 3 primary colors. We had to do a lot of mixing to get different greens and variations by using more water to get lighter colors. And then we also took into account like space and having a foreground, middle ground, and background for this, which you see a lot with landscapes, and also how atmospheric perspective ties into art, using darker colors in the foreground and lighter as they go back, so like how the sky has a transition from light to dark. And then we also used when we were designing our composition, we wanted to have it balanced, so the river works to draw your eye throughout the whole composition and create a balanced feel.
Yeah, so when we started this collaboration, we were a little apprehensive about approaching each other's disciplines. I didn't know how to really teach or approach science, and I know Dusty repeated several times that he doesn't know anything about art or painting, but that was all right. We encouraged him to step in and help us, and as we moved through the project, we started to make a bunch of connections between the art and science and how these things work. I remember even talking at one point about how salt, like we were using with the dyes, how that actually affects like freezing on the roads and stuff like that. So those connections just kind of naturally were happening, and in the end we actually made connections in both the medium and the content being the image, the mountains, dealing with erosion and all that, and then the medium as well with the salt and solubility and making that connection. So we learned, or we discovered that we can learn about each other's disciplines, that Dusty can paint and I can conduct science experiments on my own if I wanted to. And well, while we can learn, we should be careful. Dusty shouldn't count on me to teach science, and I probably won't count on Dusty to teach my class how to paint. But I think that we can use it in a fun way, and we can use it to reiterate main ideas in both classrooms, including vocabulary and things like that. And after that, I think the most important thing we learned is that this is a good way to make friends. We're all going to be new teachers, and moving into a new school, it's a great idea to collaborate with other teachers, get fresh ideas, maybe work with older, more experienced teachers so you can see kind of an inside look at how they're developing lesson plans and what the school actually expects from them, so you have a better idea of what you're getting into. And it's kind of a nice break too from art or whatever you're doing. It could be a nice way to mix it up for both yourself and the students. So we thought it was a beneficial thing.